welcome back to Listography. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to do a song list for you. We're each going to count down our top 10 Van Halen songs. Hopefully you caught our previous video where we discussed the ranking of the albums. And coming up after this, we're going to be doing an Eddie Van Halen guitar solo video as well. So keep a lookout for that. We're each going to just read through our top 10 quickly here, and then we'll discuss a little as we go. Joe, you want to start with your top 10?
Yes, Jason, I would. My top 10, we'll start with number 10. It is a song Jason hates, and it is Right Now for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. This is like the first Van Halen song I heard, and I didn't really know much about the band when I heard it, and I just really like the piano intro. The solo from Eddie is really clean, not too much histrionics, just a good song. I thought the video was cool when I was like 13. I don't think it's that cool anymore, but it's one of those ones with like words and like...
I thought about the video. The signs of like all the motivational words, right?
Yeah, I thought that was cool when I was in high school, and looking back, it's not, but I still like the song. Number 9, Women in Love from Van Halen 2. Very different. I don't know if this was their first like slow song. I'm trying to look through the track list, but it was a big change up from what they were doing. There's nothing like it on Van Halen 1. They got some real nice backup vocals, which were such an integral part of Van Halen. Number 8, Ice Cream Man from Van Halen. I think it's their best cover. I think it's one of Eddie's best guitar solos, and it really, brings out the best in David Lee Roth as well.
I just really don't know how I feel about it. I think it's fun and it's great, but I just I don't think I could ever consider it top 10. I don't know why.
I love it.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Number 7 from 1984, we got Drop Dead Legs. I think it's the best song on that album that hasn't been played to death and isn't really, it's not really a radio cut. You don't hear it 500 times a day. And I think it really holds up well. Number 6 from 5150, Why Can't This Be Love? And this might just be because this was the unofficial song of my college house. But I don't know, I really like the driving beat. It kind of kicks things off nicely. I think Sammy does a good vocal part on it. Just kind of up-tempo driving rock song. I like it. Number 5, Dreams, also from 5150. I know it's cheesy, but I love the 2 guitar solos from Eddie on this.
I thought this was going to be your number 1. This was my guess.
Really? It probably was at one point, but I think I've matured a little bit.
It's also on the Power Rangers movie soundtrack.
Is it? I did not know that.
Which I own.
I just think it's a good song, and it's nothing spectacular. It probably shouldn't be in my top 10. It's just one of those Sammy Hagar songs. I don't know if it's like embarrassingly like sincere or not, but I still like it, and it still gets to me. Number 4 is Jump, even though it's been played so many times. I still like it. I still love the synth part. I love the little opening part from Van Halen. I think it has a great solo, and I think it has his best synth solo as well. Mm-hmm. Not that people really expect that or think about Eddie Van Halen, but he was a phenomenal synth player, and I think that really shows off his synth playing in its peak. Number 3 is Unchained from Fair Warning. Really kind of dirty, gritty song. Sort of predates Panama in that David Lee Roth has that sort of riffy vocal part in it. I just think it's really memorable riff, and I prefer it to Panama just because it's not quite so overplayed. Number 2, All Wait from 1984, another sort of synth focused song, dark, very brooding, moody, but I've always loved it. I love the guitar solo. It's very different from sort of Eddie's over the topness. Really like it. It's not too overplayed. And number 1 from Van Halen 1, I'm the One.
Yes.
One of their, it's so fast driving. It's just, I think it really embodies the early period of Van Halen the best. It's perfect in pretty much every way. Just 3 minutes and 45 seconds of just pure rock. It just makes me, when I hear that song, I think of early Van Halen, even though it's not, a radio cut or anything like that. And I wish they had kind of kept with that style a little bit more throughout some of their later albums, but they didn't. But it's my number 1.
Love that barbershop breakdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So cool.
No, Joe, I'm very surprised Feel So Good didn't make the cut. Very surprised. It has been contending.
Yeah, it's right off the top 10. And there's a lot of songs I wanted to put on here, and I wish I could, but 10 is just not enough for a band with 12 albums. 10 songs is not, you get less than one per album. So
All right, top 10 Van Halen songs. The way I approached this was I made a master list as I was going. It came down to about 18 songs that got edited down to 10. My number 10 is The Seventh Seal. Probably my favorite opener that they do. I really like the atmosphere. It's probably Eddie's best version of guitar playing without riffing and kind of going off the charts. My number 9 is going to be Everybody Wants Some. Really awesome, just kind of pump up, kind of, love to hear it at sporting events. It really gets me pumped up. Love the spoken word part of it. Just a really cool hard rock song that puts me in a really cool mood. My number 8 is Feels So Good, which I thought was going to be Joe's number 1. The song just makes me feel so good. It's chipper, it's sweet, it's got that really cool, kind of like old-timey baseball organ kind of feel to it. It's got a really catchy verse to it. The backing vocals, when they go, so good, it's so awesome. I love this song. I have a feeling Jason just hates this song. My number 7 is Unchained, just like Joe said. It's just a really good kind of dirty, just straight up rock and roll song. Really cool, abrasive guitar part to intro, and then it doesn't slow down with the verse, but he does kind of just, get his foot off the gas pedal with the guitar a little bit and kind of just put in those cool little sounds and tones. I love the breakdown into the bridge to the chorus. Number 6 for me is DOA, my favorite song on on Van Halen 2. It's got a little bit more of a punk feel, which they really only had on their first couple of albums, which I really dig. Number 5 is Joe's number 1, I'm the One. Everything you said about it is right. The guitar work, it's kind of got that 50s two-step vibe to it, but in that really aggressive, fastly played kind of way. Maybe his best guitar song overall, perhaps. Number 4, Right Now. I like all the lyrics. A lot of people might think they're a little bit too, motivational or sentimental, but I think they really work, especially for Hagar. I don't want to see what it would be like if Hagar went incredibly deep with his lyrics. This is right about where I want him to be. And of course, the keys playing on it and Michael Anthony's bass playing, like I talked about when we did the albums list. So that one's number 4. Number 3 is Dance the Night Away. Really sweet and whimsical kind of romantic song. Makes you feel young, makes you feel hopeful. I really like the little guitar parts on it. Number 2 for me and number 1 are both going to be off 1984. This is probably the main reason why it ended up being my number 1 favorite album, because that's my 2 favorite songs. Number 2 is Drop Dead Legs. What a cool guitar part. And Alex's kind of slow, thick, entrenching playing behind it really plays off. I kind of hate Family Guy for the spot with Meg when she's really hot. They use the song while she's walking down the street. Kind of ruined it for me a little bit, but I do love this song. My number 1 is I'll Wait. Not a lot of songs like this, and really cool solo. One of his more reined in solos, but the texture on it is really cool. Awesome synth part, and then kind of really cool interludes with the drums. I love the lyrics on this, kind of, almost like a voyeuristic kind of romantic obsession with the lyrics, which I really dig. So those are my top 10.
All right. Guess I'll go next. Number 10 for me is I'll Wait. You guys hit the nail on the head with that one. Number 9 for me is Everybody Wants Some. Like we mentioned in the other video, that ad-lib vocal is what sells the song for me. I think it's great. Number 8, I have Ain't Talking About Love, one of the best Eddie riffs.
Oh, yeah.
Number 7 for me, the only Sammy Hagar song to crack my top 10, Don't Tell Me from Balance. At number 6, I have Dance the Night Away from Van Halen 2. Just a super fun, energetic song. Always puts me in a good mood. Number 5, I have Jamie's Crying from the first record. Just a lot of attitude on that song. Really love it. Great groove.
The best example of the backing vocals, maybe on that song too, with the whoa, whoa, whoas. It's so good.
I have a better example, I think, coming up, but Yes, it's great. At number 4, I have Ice Cream Man.
No.
Nice. Very nice.
I've always loved
Wise
that
selection.
song. So good. At number 3, I have Unchained. Did you have Unchained on your list, Ryan?
Made all of our lists, yeah.
All three?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just one of the best, most undeniable Van Halen songs, I think. At number 2, I have DOA from Van
Yeah.
Halen 2. The song is just awesome.
Attaboy.
I think my dad had most of the Van Halen records growing up. For some reason, I went a long time without ever listening to Van Halen 2 for some reason. I remember the first time I listened to it, I was just like being blown away by DOA, and I've loved it ever since. And my number 1, I don't think either of you had.
Drum roll.
From the debut, I have Feel Your Love Tonight.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Wow.
That's a good song.
Which I think is like the quintessential version of that early period. And like you were saying with Jamie's Crying, it just has those amazing backing vocals.
I'm not saying this as an honorable mention, but I do think it's a song we should maybe recognize. I don't understand why this wasn't on Balance. Came out right around the same time as Humans Beings. You guys, or Humans Being? You guys remember that song? It's on the Twister soundtrack.
Twister, yeah. Twister soundtrack.
And then they put it on their greatest hits.
Yeah, it was a cool song. It was very different though.
Kind of heavy, yeah.
Very heavy. But yeah, I don't know why that didn't make Balance. But maybe it came a little after.
All right. Anything you'd like to point out about any of these song lists, or?
We had a lot more shared songs than I thought we would, even if it wasn't all three of us. I think almost every one of my songs also showed up on someone else's songs.
I think we're all sick of the same songs, it seems like, because 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I would have had completely different list with probably Panama and maybe some of the other
You had Jump.
video songs, Hot for Teacher. I mean, I really like those songs, but I'm just so tired of them that I couldn't put them on my list.
It was hard for me not to put Hot for Teacher on because I do love that song. I'm not as sick of the big hits. And I think that might just because of we live our lives a little differently. It's not, I don't drive. I'm sure you guys probably do, but, we don't rely on the radio for music as much as we used to. We kind of have more of a, handle on that. So, it's not like when you're driving to work like you were maybe 10, 15 years ago and you have your 3 rock stations that you mix through the radio, you kind of end up hearing the same stuff. So for me, the hits, I'm not as sick of the hits as maybe you guys are.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hit like if you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, get notifications. We've got a lot of new content planned coming up soon for you, so make sure you're all signed up to get notified. And we will see you next time.